Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Bottom left hand corner we got Metodman starting as the yellow Protoss. Upper right corner we got Nyentek starting as the purple Zerg. So good race distribution. I like seeing, as fun as mirror matchups are, I will say PvP over the long haul gets a bit tedious. I do like the current state of TVT, I will say. A long time ago, did I just say I will say like twice in a row? By the way, the map is Knockout right here. Game 1, I don't think I updated it, probably still says like round of 8, match 1 potentially. I think this is match 3, but the number of the match doesn't matter as long as you know Nyentek is going up against Metodman. This is the first match and it's a best of 5. What was I saying? I was saying I was repeating my words, which you try not to do as a commentator, which might tell you my frame of mind right this second, a little bit fatigued. But it's good to see the good to see the non-mirror matchups. There's only so much PvP over time. Man, I'm trying to remember what there were a couple seasons of Hasuleauge where it was just nothing but PvP at the end. That was what I was going to say. TVT. I like the current state of TVT because old TVT was just a guaranteed 50-minute game. Now, unless you have a player that is really aiming for that, which there are players out in the scene where that is the case, by the way. We had a overpool. Is that overpool or 9-pool? 9-pool into drone cancel to get a little bit more mineral out. Unfortunately for Nyentek, this is going to be at cross position, so it'll be a distance to travel for these Zerglings. And I'm not sure I like early Zergling. This, on Knockout in particular, I'm not sure I like the early Zergling floods, simply because of the gutter and the potential of cannons, although this is Gateway opener in this instance. Gateway first versus 9-pool can get really dicey for Protoss. So first of all, that first Zealot and Probe certainly get shut down, but then the issue is defending your ramp and also trying to defend this gateway line against Zerglings as they're making their way across. So probes usually have to pull off the line to make it happen. Sometimes you see emergency pylons and other cruft dropped. Optimally, okay, probe sees that coming across. Yeah, the Zealot gonna wait in the wings while the second one's queued up. We do need at least a probe to drop a forge down here. In the midst of this, probe gonna wander around with its mineral prize, and we're seeing a 234 gas to get. Or is Metodman still gonna go for a Nexus? This feels like insanity to me. Okay, how many? Huh. All right, we'll see how this plays out. This Zealot gonna wander out. Yeah, gonna have to draw back. I think these Zerglings can just walk by the Zealots. Well, let's see how Nyentek plays it. Nyentek, if he just is he gonna wait for the group up? These two Zerglings still chasing this probe. Maybe he got down here and he was like, what do I do now? The Zealots are, and this is again why I don't like Zerglings on this map in particular, because the lack of vision here. I think if Nyentek, okay, now rediving, trading around, I don't like this decision making. Yeah, I would have much rather, you know that if there's two Zealots here, they can't defend the main, and 6 Zerglings in the main, despite whatever Zealots were chasing, would have been a much bigger headache for Metodman than just these 2 Zerglings that remain, especially with 2 Zealots running in tow, and also additional Zerglings potentially could have been out here anyway. We do have, but again, because I think what happened there is because it's Knockout, effectively the vision was cut off on this low side, so he didn't know the position of the Zealots to think about cutting, which again is why I don't like 9-pool on this map in particular. It comes full circle, you guys. And what was it? I can't even remember the phrase. I should have said that phrase that if I was a true comedian skilled at this, I would have remembered that phrase that I said, and I would have said it again, but now I'm going to get a bunch of YouTube comments probably of that once it goes to YouTube. Anyway, layer morphing. 2 Zealots have managed to sneak out into the darkness. This Zealot, licking that the Zergling blood off his blades, got the 3 kills right there. Wandering up across the north, and I don't know that Nyentek, one, has eyes or has enough Zerglings to contend with these. He's going to still be sitting on 4. 4 beats 2. Or sorry, 2 beats 4 Zerglings for sure. And he does need to get a move on though. It looks like he's looking for the 3rd base, and we're looking at a 2 base lurker rush from Nyentek. Interesting, and at a very light drone count. As soon as these Zealots get here, I have a feeling this entire build falls apart. We have Stargate +1 weapons. Also, the Lurker Rush comes out pretty late. Unless it was going to be a contain into something else, I don't know that it would get a lot accomplished. Metodman, not waiting around, going to go ahead and walk his way up. Is going to see the Hydralisk Den. Yeah, spots the Hydralisk Den, so no more surprises from Nyentek, and that should accelerate the... especially off 2 base. I don't know that he... Here's the thing, I don't know if he recognizes the Thursday, but he sees the layer as well. So should put 2 and 2 together and get an observatory out sooner rather than later. 2 Overlords. This Overlord's certainly gonna die. Should die out on the front. But I'm not sure if Metodman recognized what was coming is the next question. Zergling streaming the way across. Another base now getting dropped from Nyentek, kind of bailing out of that plan. Lurker tech is finished, but we don't have any lurkers. I will say lurkers in this area versus the gutter. Pretty effective. 1 Overlord down, supply capping Nyentek. This Overlord has no protection, so it's going to get wiped out as well. Metodman letting it live for the moment, just wants to go out and get some additional scouting confirmation. Never mind, he's going to decide against it. I mean, he's already got the information he was looking for. I'm kind of shocked to see that he's not going Citadel of Adun instead. I would have loved to see more Dragoons and an earlier robotics in response to this. So 2 lurkers now going to scramble their way across. Thing is yeah, even though, well, we'll see how this plays out. If lurkers come across this area and Metodman continues to drop cannons to defend, okay, there's the robotics. I think Metodman just took a minute to key in on what was happening there. He's going to make his way bottom right and find that 3rd hatchery. The Zerglings, is this going to be an attempted bust still with the Zerglings? Too many Zealots for that. Also, plenty of cannons. And again, okay, we're going to look at Nyentek's view. Yeah, just going to try to open up the front, it looks like. With the 2 lurkers. Let's see how long this lasts. Is the next question. Because there's a robotics. The observatory's not going to... I don't... If he gets a few Dragoons in range, which he's queuing up, I don't know if the lurkers even get the... looks like he's going to cancel altogether. Thing is, the lurkers aren't concentrated on a single building. The observatory's warping in. The Zerglings will protect against the Zealots, but a Dragoon on the gutter line across the bridge line could peck away at that lurker, maybe save a gateway and a forge, even in small numbers. Looks like a High Templar is being constructed instead, though. Do we have Sidestorms also developing? Corsair found bottom right. Nyentek surging a little bit on drone count. Dropping a 4th hatchery. This is kind of an awkward, odd build order in the midst of this. I will say, if nothing else, Nyentek shows a lot of creativity as far as the overall build choice. I think he just, if he's going to make this work, though, I think he just needs to surge drones heavily and not build... Just get that drone count to 40 and try to play it out from there. Or maybe even just try to grab an additional base and hope for the long term, and hope that Metodman does exactly this, which is slow play it. Okay, now the Dragoon's being constructed in the main. It's a little bit cluttered along this edge as well. The observer nearby is else stepping forward. The front is open. If Nyentek was going to go for the dive, this would be the time to do it. I will say Nyentek's just way behind in the midst of this. A second Hydralisk Den? Oh, Nyentek. Ugh, he forgot that he was doing this tricky build order and went along the 4-hatch standard instead. And so now he's got 2, yeah, definitely playing tournament nervous right now. Another hatchery dropping bottom right. He is surging the drones now. I think this might be too little too late though, because we've already got the gateway surge, we've got the Dragoons filled in. We only have 2 lurkers right here. I guess Metodman doesn't know that. As soon as he moves the observers forward though and moves the Dragoons to the front, he will have that intel. Still sitting at 30 drones and more Hydralisk being constructed, and I guess this might end up... What is this button? That's weird. It kind of hovers at a blink. Just kind of has a blink thing. In the meantime, High Templar well protected. And now the map is open, and there's enough supply for Metodman in these units, and not enough counterattack possibility that I believe bottom right dies, or potentially guess that's a well-positioned lurker that would at least brush off the Zealots. If the Zealots just run into the drone line, that would be enough. The other issue is if Metodman just wants to expand, he can do that as well. At which point he's at 3 base. He could do both, honestly. Probably drop a pylon, get a cannon or two down, get the Nexus up. Doesn't have to worry about it. The Corsair not providing him enough information, potentially. Nyentek gonna try to buy himself some time by dropping 2 lurkers bottom right along that gutter line. He's got 2 lurkers up here, kind of a distance. Creep Colony has not morphed as of yet. 20 workers behind though, so as soon as that Metodman, I'm gonna have to talk about him in the that sort of sense for a while now. Poor Overlord, not long for life. Does have speed at the very least. Okay, with Overlord speed, if we could get some Hydralisks somewhere, they might be able to pick off observers. That might be another way. But yeah, this is Breach. I still don't think this holds. High Templar could expend a Psy Storm on that drone line, but I don't think it needs to. Yeah, they just need to walk up and some Zerglings. I think they might hope for a counterattack here. Corsair died in the main, in the space of that, but still you have 3 cannons and some High Templar to clear all that out. So I don't think this is going to be much of a threatening counterattack. 2 rounds of a lot of stuff, though, making its way that direction. And the thing is now that this is gone, it might be able to disrupt the 3rd, but the 3rd in exchange for Nyentek actually, or Metodman actually moving out to go ahead and defend that. 1 High Templar does lose his life, so that's at least something. Metodman is drawing back to go ahead and defend this 3rd. But, you could probably just walk up and end the game. Oh, never mind. Nyentek are just going to GG, recognizing he can't wipe anything out. And it was going to be 2 base versus 3 over the short term. This is kind of a cool little look right here. Let's zoom in on that at the end of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Game 1 goes to Metodman in this best of 5. Thanks for listening.